And of course, for my boy later on tonight, the Muslim as well, because everybody knows I love Ben. And I think so many people out there right now want to see Ben shine. Of course, our second series of the night, Ben, Violet versus Alicia, is a big one too. We shouldn't forget. We almost forget. But of course, we don't forget. Alicia was the runner-up of our last season.
Yeah, and it's almost unfortunate because people say sometimes that second place is the first loser, and I think that can be applied to Alicia here. He had a great season. No, let me finish. He had a great season. Oh yeah, he had a great season last season. He had a fantastic finish, but how easy is it to forget that that guy that finished second? I mean, Alicia's not as talked about as some of the champions of old, and it's really a shame because he's a phenomenal player, and he's continuing to show good form through Season 4.
We're going to see him after this, Ben, even though Violet was close to unstoppable this season. As Violet went 8-0 in his division. These two guys, Ben, or I should say Arthur, wasn't as convincing as Violet, but he still finished the regular season with a 6-2 record, including one walkover loss, so that's actually very respectable. He is, of course, our Teal Protoss spawning on the right top side of Cloud Kingdom, and he is going to play against Quantix Golden. The Korean Zerg player who's living in North America these days, in the Quantic house, not too far away from us.
That's right. This is best of 5 all evening long, folks. So every one of these matches. Look at this probe harass.
Yeah, man. He's blocking spawning pools left and right. He's like, you're never going to get any Zerglings, bro. Man, how sucky would it be for a Zerg player if you can get, like, just never build a spawning pool?
You know, in Brood War, it was much easier to block a spawning pool going down. I don't know for what reason. I guess stuff was just bigger. You know.
Yeah, there were less pixels, so that makes a lot of sense.
So you could really delay people by harassing with your probe.
Sending
like
3 probes, putting them on patrol, no spawning pool can go down. That would be something, man. Of course, we see this drone heading out to the natural. Golden opened up 15 pool, and he's just going to try to get his hatch down as quick as possible. If there's one thing, Ben, that we learned in the regular season from Arthur, is that he has a couple of interesting builds. I wouldn't say that he's your super... I don't really want to use the word, but I'm going to use it. Straight up Protoss player. I definitely wouldn't define him as cheesy either, but his builds are slightly unorthodox. Can we say that?
Sure. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. He's no Rain. He's also no parting. He kind of falls somewhere in between.
And there's no shame falling in between those guys. I'd love to fall in between Rain and parting, man, in any way possible.
Well, I'm gonna just let everybody at home imagine the possibilities there.
Man, Rain, parting, and me, I'd be down.
Sounds like a party.
First Zerglings are out on the map for Gold. As you guys can hear, both of us got a little cold. I am getting better. Ben is also getting better. But we traveled a lot, of course, in case you guys missed us, wondering like, hey, I don't follow the StarCraft scene that closely, but it's been a while since I saw you two guys.
Yep.
We went to China. Well, I went to Holland first, then I went to China, and of course we went to Sweden as well. And all this traveling, Ben, all this time in airplanes. Every now and then you catch something you rather don't catch.
Yep. Picked up a Chinese flu and then it mutated into a Swedish megavirus. Now I'm finally starting to get rid of the last of it. Unfortunately, it's all coming through my nose.
Thank you for that lovely information.
You're welcome.
See, both players, of course, is going fast expand, super standard so far. A couple of Zerglings parked outside of the natural of Arthur. So it's going to be hard for him. He does not have a single unit out on the map right now, as we can see if we take a look at his vision. Might be a small problem for him later on if he wants to do some Gateway +1 aggression, but I'm kind of expecting an Immortal Sentry all in on Cloud Kingdom. Wow, okay, these Zerglings are like, hey man, just don't see too much, okay? You can see a little bit, but don't drop any pylons, then you're free to go.
Fair enough, man. Third base is down here for Golden. He took it a little bit later than what we're used to seeing. It was about 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which is not really anything to make a fuss over.
But it's not a 4 minutes.
But it's not a 4-minute third base. And I'm not really sure why he did that, because we can see he hasn't added any gases. He doesn't have any tech down.
Maybe just trying to squeeze out as many drones as possible. It's actually not going to be a robo opening over here, Ben. It's going to be a Stargate opening. Now, this is something that we've seen him do quite a few times this season as well. I still like the Stargate openings, you know it. I play it a lot, even though I haven't played for a while right now. Oh, man, he forgot a big pylon, man. A really big pylon.
44 of 44 supply.
That's
quite sloppy.
Yeah, I find that actually, if this happens to me as Protoss player in a game, I already feel like I'm going to be quite far behind. Now, all this time, he won't be able to produce any probes. You're basically losing out 3-4 probes.
At the most critical time in the game to produce them. This is right where the Zerg player is going to start passing Protoss in the worker count, and anything that you do that slows you down further just complicates that. Now coming back to the opening that we're seeing out of Arthur, this Phoenix +1 sort of style is something that's gaining a lot of popularity, certainly amongst the Koreans.
It is, but he's doing it in a weird way, Ben, because most of the Protoss players, you see them getting +1 really quick and sell it convincingly, like, hey man, this is going to be some gateway aggression. It's actually going to be gateway +1 aggression, so you better be ready. And of course, the last thing that the Zerg player thinks about then is spore crawlers. But the way that Arthur has been going about it is it's a little bit different. I was going to say that he didn't sell it very convincingly.
This is the most unfortunate Overlord scout I have ever seen.
Exactly. That's the only good thing for him right now. Now, the last thing, of course, that Golden thinks about is still Stargate. Because right now he saw those gateway units already. He still doesn't know about this Stargate. So he might get away with it. But I would say that I've seen Protoss players execute this better. Or at least sell it more convincingly.
A couple extra gates going down behind this. Now Arthur's options with the Phoenix opening he has 2 base options. And he also has 3 base options. I think a lot of it does come down to how much damage he's actually able to do with the harass, though.
Yep. It's very quick Twilight console as well, so you can really see that he's probably not going to commit too many gateway units to this. The good thing for him is, though, that there is still not a single spore crawler anywhere in sight for Golden, because Golden doesn't really have the feeling he's playing against Stargate. Because, Ben, as you pointed out, the most unfortunate Overlord scout in history.
Yeah, literally just kind of skirted the edge of the Stargate, skirted the edge of that pylon. He's got no idea that there's even any tech up there.
And still, nothing of Golden has seen these Phoenixes. These Phoenixes are going to arrive without a single bit of anti-air anywhere. Now, of course, 4 Phoenixes is the magic number to kill a queen with 1 lift. But all your Phoenixes have to be right there, right on top of the queen, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep, excellent. Excellent sort of situation unfolding here for Arthur. There is no anti-air. There are so many exposed Overlords. In this little cluster, there's 7 Overlords, Kevin. He could kill all of them if he wanted to.
Well, I think what he wants to do first is kill just all the queens, and I think that's a wise decision. There are only 3 queens on the map right now. This queen will fall, and he might be able to pick up the... okay, the other one's going to be tough, but still.
Yep, going to pick up a couple of drones here as these spore crawlers finish. Golden just like immediately dropped 5 spores, maybe even an overreaction, but I think in this situation a necessary one.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think you'd rather be safe than sorry, and I feel it's always a worthy investment, because if you underdo it with spore crawlers, those Phoenixes are going to stay active for the rest of the game, and they will eventually pay for it, and that's why I think that...
Queen was caught out of position, so another queen will be lifted and killed.
There's almost energy for transfuse, but it's not going to be in time. This queen will die as well. Wow. Only 2 queens remaining right now, but 4 more in production. Okay.
Yeah. Now Golden's taking some damage, but he's transitioning very, very smoothly. Already has the infestation pit down.
The biggest problem for him is when he made quite a few early Zerg units, quite a few Lynx, Roaches. I don't think it's going to be enough to force a cancel on this Nexus. Perhaps the first time it will, because Arthur is out of position.
And he does just cancel. Not even gonna try to save it. Cancel it, lost the probe. He will be bringing another probe up, and he's going to immediately retake this expansion. So
he's going to lose a couple of these Roaches, but he's going to be fine with that.
Yeah, certainly to slow down that hatch further. Golden's already getting his hive. This is a slow third base, but a very, very fast hive.
Yep. And he's all the way back to 69 drones as well. I think it's super important that he canceled that Nexus at least one time, which I think shouldn't have happened, because he made units, but those were not enough units to force a cancel on the third base. Those were enough units to deal with some Zealot +1. So that shouldn't have happened.
Arthur continuing to find a couple Overlords here and there around the map. His upgrades are pretty good. He's got +1 finished and working on his +2.
I really like so far how Arthur is playing. He barely lost anything. Taking a look at units lost resource tab, we can see he killed 1,000 more. He's transitioning into Colossus, into Blink. This is a solid first opening game so far for Arthur, and it's also important, perhaps even deciding game in his StarCraft 2 career. That sounds exaggerated, but it really is like that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We already kind of went over it. Slayers is no more. He has no team to hang his hat on, and this is probably the only other chance he's going to have as we see Zerglings trying to harass his third base. It would be a fantastic story to see Arthur in the top 8, man, and I don't think that it's impossible.
It is not impossible, but I do think that Golden is a slight favorite. Maybe because of the matchup, but also because Golden has been in North America for quite a while. So he's going to have a ping advantage, considering Arthur is, of course, in Korea. And this is the North American Star League, so whenever there is someone in North America, we play the games on the North American server. Because, hey, after all, once more, it's the North American Star League. Oh, that's a massive fungal. I'm not sure how many infests we have. Oh, split your Phoenixes up. There's no fungal right now.
One more Overlord is going to fall. Arthur's being incredibly
I find this bizarre that he didn't want to renew those fungals. He had all 4, Ben.
Maybe he just didn't. He had 3, not 4.
No, he had 4 out of 4 Phoenixes fungal.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't have enough fungal to kill him anything.
I think he had 5 infestors on the map. I checked immediately.
But the other two at the third base. Maybe he could have brought him over in time. That's a possibility. I don't know. Either way, the Phoenixes do get away. So unfortunate turn of events for Golden, who is he's ahead in supply, but only barely. It's 165 supply to 158. Arthur's transitioned right into double robo. That's
a very nice fungal right now, Ben. On top of all these 4 Phoenixes, these Phoenixes will die. Some people might think this is not a big deal right now. Actually, it is a big deal because those Phoenixes, they soak up a lot of damage from the Corruptors. If not, they deal some damage as well. Arthur is probably going to make one really strong push trying to win this game before Broodlords are out. And he will be able to hit a small window. Well, actually, those Broodlords are morphing now already, so... Okay, it's gonna be wow. That's just so quick, man. This is 15 minutes, and they're already Broodlords morphing.
Yeah, Golden.
I find that kind of crazy.
Has somehow managed to squeeze out everything a little bit faster than we're used to seeing.
There cannot be a whole lot of spine crawlers there, no? No. There are a few spine crawlers, but that's about it. And of course, right now there's still not going to be that many Broodlords. So that first push of Arthur is still going to be very scary. And I would have loved to keep those Phoenixes around and just make sure that they're still alive.
You know, Arthur is going to go ahead and move out. He's got 4 Colossi. Oh, this is unfortunate. Corruptor's going to catch the Warp Prism in the middle of the map. It's going to make it a little bit harder to reinforce this push.
Use Corruption immediately as well. Cute little move. 107's Army Supply against 119 plus 3 is about to finish up. This is probably the only spot where you do not want to attack Arthur because this is kind of easy to fungal. There are 4 Broodlords out only and only 6 Infestors. I really think that this push might work.
We're going to see Broodlords. Like you said, the count hasn't climbed quite that high. Colossi are going to start bearing down on the Spine Crawler while we can see a small counterattack up at the top of the map. I'm not sure if that's going to really get it done, though.
Like 6 links.
Colossi are being very, very sort of methodical about this. Spine Crawlers have been mostly dealt with.
Broodlord's coming a little bit forward right now. That's exactly as you said, Ben. There are not that many Spines left. 6 more Broods are morphing right now. Then suddenly everything gets a lot more scary because we go from 4 to 10 Broodlords. That's a world of difference. I feel that Arthur is sort of... He should have pushed the issue harder.
I kind of like your first point about him maybe oh, this is a big blink from Arthur. He's just going to go for it right now. I don't know how many Infestors there are, but Broodlords are falling very, very quickly. Nice use of Transfusion by those Queens. Spine Crawlers and Broodlords together are forcing the Stalkers to blink backwards. Actually, supply-wise, this isn't that bad for Arthur.
Not at all. He's down in army supply right now. He killed a lot of drones. 6 Broodlords are remaining, but not that many Infestors are remaining. Only 2. Perhaps with another forward blink. Yeah, he's going to go for it.
Oh, big blink. Broodlords falling in single volleys. Stalkers doing great damage. Colossi need to kind of become relevant in the fight. They're just shooting eggs right now.
The Colossus are drunk, Ben.
But Arthur is continuing to do great damage. The third base was killed by the Golden counterattacking, so Arthur losing a little bit of steam here. It's going to be harder for him to continue to warp in reinforcements.
Arthur kind of all in right now. Of course, Golden's going to have to defend one more time. The Colossus are running solo on HP. He's going to have to be so careful. You might want to blink some Stalkers.
It's so close right now. If Golden can hold here, he wins the game. If Arthur can keep his army alive, he's going to win the game.
The Stalkers. He's not really blinking right now. One Immortal is still alive. That's so important. I think Arthur still has done it.
Golden's forced backwards once more. The last Broodlord is going to fall, and this means the third base could be dead as well. If we look at the income tab, we can see that most of the drones at the fourth and third bases have been completely slaughtered. It's about 50 workers to 50 workers right now.
But Golden still has a bang bat, so if Arthur is not going to win this game right here, right now, I still think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble because his 1,500 minerals is massive in this phase of the game. He's splitting up his army.
Blinking up onto the high ground is a pretty big commitment, but that's a great warp in from Arthur. He's up 30 supply. Golden's trying to make something happen, but his last Broodlords are going to fall. The Colossus saved by the Warp Prism and is going to be microed around a little bit more. Oh, pick it back up, Warp Prism.
And he's doing it.
And there it is. GG. Very nicely done. Arthur takes game number 1 with a great Hive timing.
Yeah, that was good. It was just solid play from the start, Ben. I would say that he got a little bit fortunate that that first Overlord just went through his base, did not see the Stargate. You could say it was smart positioning of the Stargate, but there's always a little bit of luck. Like, where is it going to fly in? He doesn't know how Golden is going to scout. But overall, I think he executed it nicely. I still think it was a little bit sloppy. He lost his 4 Phoenixes, but overall, he did it good. I think he could have even done it better and make his life a little bit easier, because the moment that counterattack happened and he lost his third base, he actually got in trouble, because if that final Colossus would have died, it would have got really close.
I thought it was a great play from Arthur. He does go up 1-0. It's a best of 5, guys, so a lot more StarCraft still to be played. And we do have to thank our sponsor, Audible, for putting up that last game. Audible NASL.com is where you can go to download and listen to a bestseller today. We are running a special promotion for any audiobook connoisseurs out there, nasl.tv/p/audible, where you can get started. We're going to take a very short break. We will be right back. Game number 2, Golden versus Arthur, when we get back.